Hey Life team, happy Thursday. Few things for Sunday as we get ready. Number one, the lesson is called Disciples Are Found, and it's in Luke chapter 15, and it's highlighting the threefold parable of Jesus talking about the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son, to highlight how God loves us and how God pursues us uh, in salvation. And a couple things I thought that the curriculum and the commentary really pointed out well was number one, talking about the really ordinary terms Jesus is using to illustrate the extraordinary love of God. The idea of a sheep and a coin and a father-son. These are things the audience would have been very familiar with in their everyday life to help them really grasp the love of God for them in the most ordinary terms possible. But also to highlight the extraordinary level of God's love, especially in the story with the son. When the son talks about going back to the reaction the son anticipates from the father, that he'll be begrudgingly receptive and that maybe he'll make me a servant, but he definitely won't count me worthy to be his son. This response that the son expects is likely the response the audience would have anticipated. That when the son is saying this, like, yeah, that's what the son deserves. That's exactly what the father's going to do. So when he's kind of Jesus is anticipating how the crowd will expect the father to respond, so that when the son comes, and we see how the father actually responds, how he runs to the son and pursues him and loves him and embraces him, and all these things that this father does for the son. The audience is shocked and amazed at how the father loves this son who has wandered away and rejected him. And the point being that Jesus wants his audience to see this is the love of God, right? He doesn't love us the way we expect. He loves us in a way that is totally unexpected, that would blow our minds, that this is not how a father in that day would have responded to a wayward son. And so it really highlights what Isaiah talks about, where God says that his ways are above our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. This is not the way men would react, but this is the way God reacts. This is his great love for us. And so highlighting the love of God, that it pursues us, seeks us, comes after us. The lesson does highlight the doctrine of election briefly, and so I encourage you, don't shy away from it, but also don't get into the weeds in either direction, either side of the election and predestination discussion. Allow some of that discussion, but again, don't get sidetracked. Don't allow extreme views to hijack the lesson, but don't be afraid to talk about it some as well. Other things we're going to get started this Sunday. This will be our first Sunday with the serve rotations, the high school boys group, the 11th, 12th grade boys, McLeod and Gore's group. We'll start that off for us, serving in hospitality at the end of the hour, going into the third hour. And then also this Sunday, we'll start our really drilling in on highlighting the novice family and their ministry in Central Asia, and get that rolling as we highlight them in September, and then we really begin to put feet to that in October as we prepare gifts and things that we're going to send with our Central Asia team in late October. So thankful for all you do, praying for this Sunday, and we will see you then.